People wait until last minute to do their Thanksgiving shopping, but with a possible storm on the way, as we're hearing, they may want to finish up a little sooner rather than later.
And Western Mass News reporter Reagan Lokri stopped by a local grocery store where she heard some last-minute shoppers.
Tuesday afternoon, the Big Y on Cooley Street in Springfield was full of last-minute shoppers, picking up items like gravy, cranberry sauce, and of course, turkey.
Thanksgiving's more of a last-minute holiday. People coming in, getting their fresh fruits and vegetables for their dinner table, fresh turkeys. You don't want to pick up those items too soon. So definitely, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're out and about getting ready for it.
I have a checklist of things that I do. So Monday I do something, Tuesday I do something, Wednesday I do something. So I always take this week off to prepare for Thanksgiving.
Western Mass News caught up with Yvette Frisbee of Springfield while she was checking off items on her holiday shopping list. She tells us Monday she did most of her shopping and Tuesday she picked up her turkey, which she always orders ahead to make sure it's fresh for Thanksgiving. And usually she uses the Wednesday before to pick up her dessert ingredients with her daughter. However, with the possible winter weather Tuesday into Wednesday, she may have to change her plans.
I might come back tonight then and get the things that I need. Thank you for the heads up.
And store director Trisha Hay tells us she expects many shoppers will do the same.
I'm sure later tonight we'll see a little bit more.
However, storm or no storm, she says either way, the supermarket chain will see a lot of business on Wednesday. And despite inflation, Frisbee tells us an uptick in prices is not stopping her from giving her family a traditional Thanksgiving feast.
Well, I would say the prices are a little bit higher, but as I was shopping, I was just getting things that I needed based on the list. But I did notice that the prices were higher than they have been in the past.
And Hay points out they offer $7 off turkeys, hams, or roasts during the holiday season. Reporting in Springfield, Reagan Lokri for Western Mass News.